Hi boys and girls, today we're going to be practicing flipping, sliding and turning 2D shapes. So just in front of me here I have gotten a piece of paper, I've drawn my shapes, so I drew a square, a rectangle, a triangle and a kite, and then I just cut them out just to have this little group of shapes that I've got here. So to practice flipping, sliding and turning, I'm going to use my rectangle. Going to move it onto this side of my whiteboard. Now the first one we're going to practice is flipping. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to imagine that there might be a straight line down the middle of my page, and then I'm going to flip it across like this. So I flipped it, now it's like a mirror image of what you originally had. Now if we're going to practice sliding, we can slide it any of the three different ways. So we might slide it across, we might slide it downwards, or we might even slide it diagonally. To slide it across, we'll move it from its original place here, sliding across. It looks the same, it's just been slid over to a new spot. I'm going to move it back to its original place, sliding it downwards, and then sliding it diagonally. That's sliding. Our last movement that we're going to practice is turning a shape. So you can turn a shape either with a quarter turn, a half turn, or a full turn. To practice my turning, I'm going to put my finger in the middle of the shape, pretending it's like a pin, so it can't move off that spot. When I'm turning it, I'm going to turn it a quarter, so the long edge of the rectangle is now facing downwards. To turn it half, I'm going to keep going around, and now that you'll see it looks like it's in its original position, but it's now on the right hand side of my whiteboard. For a full turn, I'll keep going all the way around, and it will end up back in the same position that it was when we first started. So that's turning. Now that we've refreshed our memories and we can remember what it means to flip, slide and turn, I've got a little activity that I'd like you to complete. So on my piece of paper here I have got just some columns and some rows across. In this column here, this is where I'm going to draw a picture of the shape that I can see before we've started to move it around. So to show you what I mean, I'm going to use my triangle, okay? So this is my triangle before I've moved it. So what I'm going to do is draw the triangle exactly how I can see it. So there's my triangle there. My next step, so the first column here says to flip the shape. So remembering we're flipping it, pretending there's a line straight down the middle, and flipping the shape so you've got a mirror image. Draw exactly what you can see. So it looks just like it did before, it's just been flipped over and is now facing the other way. My next movement is sliding. So we're going to slide the triangle from over here, and we might slide it across, we might slide it diagonally, or we might slide it downwards. For this one I'm going to slide it across, so from its original spot across to this side, and we're going to draw it now what it looks like now that we've slid it across the page. So that's what it looks like there. Our last one, our trickiest movement, our turning, okay? Remembering, put your finger in the middle of the shape, pinning it down with your finger, and I think for this one I'm going to do a half turn. So I'm going to turn it, I've turned it to a quarter, I have to keep going, so it's a half, turning, and it ends up the top here, and it looks a bit different this time, doesn't it? We've turned it upside down. I'm going to draw it here, just like that, and now you have some pictures of what your shape looks like each time you have turned it. Now that I've shown you how to do it, you might go and find a notebook or a scrap piece of paper, and you're going to draw up the table like this, and you're going to have a turn doing this at home by yourself. Remembering you'll need some shapes, maybe 3 or 4, drawing some 2D shapes that you're familiar with, and then cutting them out and using them to create the visual of what you're going to do. Once you're finished, you could upload a picture to Microsoft Teams so everyone in your class can have a look.